as the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, and I want to start by complimenting the work that you do here at USIP. It is so refreshing in the current political environment everywhere to see an organization that is dedicated to true bipartisan work, and, well, maybe non-partisan work, and a focus to international relations. I've been in America now for coming up to 2 weeks. Last Sunday I got into DC, and the Sunday before that I got into New York. And I have to say that we've had an incredibly productive visit. Before I became Foreign Minister, I was told that there wasn't much time or space or interest in Pakistan anymore in Washington, and I can say beyond sort of a reasonable doubt, the activities we've had over the last many weeks, the interest that I see in this room today, the engagements that we've had with senators, with congressmen, and the State Department, that is no longer the case. And I think that's fantastic news, both for the United States and for Pakistan. The main reason that I actually am here before you is that the ground realities in Pakistan have now fundamentally changed from when I started my initial engagements with the US government. We were already working on dehyphenating our relationship. We were already working on looking at ways and means to expand our bilateral relationship beyond the lens of Afghanistan, looking at opportunities to increase economic cooperation between our two countries, enhance trade relations between our two countries in the areas of tech, agriculture, health, energy. But over the last few months, Pakistan has been hit with what can only be described as a climate catastrophe of apocalyptic biblical proportions. We're a country that is used to dealing with monsoons, a country that is used to dealing with floods. We're not equipped to deal with a third of the landmass of our country submerged underwater, floods that descended from the skies. We're not equipped, as I imagine most countries are not equipped, to deal with 1/7 of their population becoming climate refugees overnight. 1/7 of the population of Pakistan is 33 million people. That is larger than the population of New York State. That is larger than the population of New Zealand or Canada or Sri Lanka. That's 95% population of Canada. I don't think Canada would be able to deal if 95% of the population of Canada, heaven forbid, were to suffer from a tragedy of this scale. This climate catastrophe has already cost 1,600 lives, a third of which are children. Of the 33 million people affected, 16 million are children. Of those 33 million people, 600,000 are pregnant women waiting to give birth under the open sky. And unfortunately, the bad news doesn't end there. The World Health Organization has already warned that Pakistan is bracing itself for a second catastrophe, a health catastrophe, waterborne diseases spreading at epidemic rates. We've warned of the challenges to our food security, because with 4 million acres of standing crop destroyed already, we were in a difficult space as far as food security is concerned in general. But that is one. difficult blow to deal with. Above and beyond that, I'm sure those who've been closely watching Pakistan are aware, we had worked ever since the new coalition government came into power to avert an economic disaster in Pakistan. As a result of the overall economic climate, but more particularly some of the decisions the country took for themselves, we were in an incredibly dangerous economic space. And luckily, we managed to demonstrate that we're willing to take the tough economic decisions. We're able to enter into an agreement with the IMF and averted the potential economic crisis. But of course, with the floodwaters, not only are all the issues that I raised before you point of concern, but all those estimates, all those figures that this current tranche of the IMF is based upon have now also washed away with the floods. This is a compounding tragedy of the likes we've never seen before, and has the potential to become a humanitarian disaster for the history books. Now, we have a plan. We too aspire to create an opportunity after this crisis. We too aspire to build back better in a greener, more climate resilient manner. And that would give us the opportunity to put Pakistan, the people affected, back on their feet, invest heavily in infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure, agriculture infrastructure, communication infrastructure, energy, green energy infrastructure. And rather than doing it cheaply and messily, and more important, dirtily, we'd like to do it in a green, climate resilient way. Obviously, that's more expensive. And we have to come up with the finances in an international environment that we know is economically difficult for everyone. Everyone has gone through the COVID pandemic. Everyone is feeling the pinch at the pump and elsewhere after the events between Russia and Ukraine. And everyone has their own devastation. Everyone has their own catastrophe. But I believe that with some novel ideas, with some engaging our international partners, engaging international financial institutions, concepts such as debt swaps as suggested by Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, by engaging the private sector, both domestically and internationally, we can find a way to have a big enough canvas to address all the challenges that we have coming up in front of us, and to do so in a way that's not only good for the people of Pakistan who've been devastated by this tragedy, but that would be good business and provide good opportunities to both our private sector, the international private sector, and give us an opportunity to cooperate with our international partners. For example, when I was speaking with Secretary of State at the State Department the other day, the Secretary referred to how Pakistan and the United States partnered to build Karbala Dam and Mangla Dam in Pakistan. Now that was the last time we've worked together on such large-scale infrastructure projects with the United States. And that was 1965 to 1970s Green Revolution. And I think perhaps it's time for another Green Revolution, where we can work with our international partners who already have a robust agenda on climate, both domestically and internationally, and rise to the challenges and meet them head on And I have no doubt in the resilience of the people of Pakistan, who've demonstrated time and time again how resilient we are. And perhaps this crisis will provide us with the opportunity to be the pilot case, the test case going forward. Because today this is Pakistan. Tomorrow it can be anybody else. We contribute a negligible 0.8% to the global carbon footprint. But we are amongst the 10 most number 8 most climate stressed country on the planet. And we're not the only ones. All our fellow countries also contribute negligibly to the global carbon footprint. They all also don't have the fiscal space to adapt, to mitigate, to build the infrastructure necessary to deal with the climate challenges that we all too face. And we discovered through this process, after drowning in the floods, that there isn't this green climate fund with $100 billion a year. That money is not available. Turns out international financial institutions aren't equipped to deal with a 100-kilometer lake that forms in the middle of your country that can be seen from space. There's no vehicle, there's no mechanism for us to plug in. There's no script for us to put into place. So while we meet this challenge for us and find the solutions for ourselves, we hope as a result of this process, we can create the vehicles, we can create the frameworks. More importantly, we can create the precedent of what needs to be done to meet these challenges. I'm incredibly grateful to our friends in the United States who stepped up right away, not only in the form of your assistance that you have announced already, but also Derek came and visited us in Pakistan during the floods. Samantha Powers, the head of USAID, was there to see firsthand the devastation with her own eyes. The congressional delegation, the Pakistani caucus, headed by Ms. Jackson, they visited as well. So all of Pakistan is witnessing, I believe the entire world is witnessing, that the people of America and the government of America are standing in solidarity with the people of Pakistan in this difficult time. And now we look forward to partnering with you as we build back better and greener. Thank you so much.